Hello, welcome back. This is Miniature Mike, and today I'm going to do my fourth tier list video for sculpts. This one's going to be for Universe. If you haven't checked them out yet, go take a look at Revenge of the Sith, Clone Strike, and Rebel Storm. I released those not too long ago. Been a lot of fun to kind of go through, let these marinate, kind of figure out for myself, after playing the game for a long time, what do I think about all these different poses and sculpts and how do they stack up. So let's jump in Universe. Universe is one of my favorite sets. Just some background. It's the first set I got started in when I first joined. It's about the time it came out. And there's some really good ones in here. So let's take a look and see what we got. So first things first, we have the Clone Trooper. This is my favorite looking Clone Trooper personally. I think the detail looks really great. I like the way that it's kind of like dashing to the side with its gun out. I think I'm gonna say A. Maybe I'll go down to B later, but I really like this Clone Trooper pose. If I could use any Clone Trooper pose, like standard Clone Trooper, it's this one personally. Obi-Wan on Boga, I'm gonna say A tier as well. This thing looks really, really well detailed. Huge characters tend to look very well detailed in my opinion. So I think they kind of sometimes get a leg up on other characters just because there's so much mass. It's easy to paint it and easy to make it look good. So, but that's okay. That's how it is sometimes. We like our huges. I'm gonna put Bark Speeder though. Pretty cool. Is a good representation of the ship, but I don't want to go too crazy with it. Very solid. Flash Speeder. It is a huge one, but like I don't know. The Flash Speeder is cool and all, but I've just never been a crazy huge fan of it in the first place. So for me, it's not something I love. Like yeah, it's like, I mean, it looks like the Flash Speeder in the movie. That's kind of all there is to it. So, I don't know. That being the case, I don't know if I'm super crazy about it, but it's not like it's a bad sculpt. I don't know what else he would do. So maybe I'll just be generous and put it in B because it's a vehicle. Okay, this one for me is S tier. I love the sculpt on the Elite Clone Trooper. I love the way he's kneeling down, has his gun out in like sniper position. This looks so good. Looks so good to me. I'm going to put this guy in A tier. And the reason I'm putting this in A tier is it's just so unique. Like I'm trying to figure out if it's like modeled after the what is that game? Republic Commando droids, how they're like off-colored, because I've always really loved this color scheme on the battle droid. So you have like the silver, kind of like silver accents mixed with just kind of like that darker. I don't even look. It's not black, but it's like a really dark color. I've always loved this one, so I'm gonna put this one A tier for myself. Hailfire droid looks great. It's a vehicle. I don't want to go too crazy with it. I think it looks awesome for a vehicle, and the fact that it does technically fit on a stand. It's a little oversized for the game, but it does still fit within its 3x3 relatively well. So I'm gonna put it into B tier. We have this guy. I'm gonna also put it in B tier, maybe even up a little bit. I think it looks good. They do a good job just kind of capturing him on his speeder. It's just, again, it's kind of a vehicle type pose. I know this is kind of dust underneath, but it kind of reminds me of hitting a rock, kind of like the stab. But I like this one more than the stab. In terms of, yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Like I think it's good detail. It's a large piece, so it's not super hard to detail it. But I might bump this up to A tier. So I'm gonna put it at the top of B. Maybe I'll bump it to A. Same with the Hailfire. This one looks pretty good. I don't really care about this one. I think it looks good for new Gunray, but it's just kind of, for me, just kind of a boring. Like standing there with your arms out like this doesn't really do it for me in terms of poses. But it does look good. For new Gunray, it looks good, but I'm just not a big fan of this particular sculpt. Maybe I'll put it in bottom of B tier. It is really well detailed for new Gunray, so for that I'll put it in B tier. Clone Troopers, this one's A tier for me. Super Battle Droids. What am I talking about? This Super Battle Droid, I think this looks great. I love, this is my second favorite Super Battle Droid behind the Clone Strike one with the arm extended. I really, really, really enjoy the look of the Super Battle Droid, and generally they look fantastic in this game. So I'll put it there. Super Battle Droid Commander though, I'm gonna put it low B tier. The problem I have with this sculpt is like in theory it looks cool, but he's always falling over. He's always aiming down. I think if they were able to make this mini so that he was, like the gun was a little raised up, or if he was aiming more horizontally rather than kind of falling over and leaning down, I would like that more. It really bothers me because I feel like there's so much good going on here. But the fact that he's just so like, I don't know, top heavy falling over, it bothers me a lot. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to put him down in B tier. Although not C tier because I think he's largely saved by just how good otherwise he looks like. I think the arm, the huge like heavy arm looks fantastic, Just needs to be raised up more. ASP7, this is a great sculpt. I think the problem with this sculpt is a few things. I don't think it's incredible. Okay, let me get this straight. I really like how they do the articulation with like, he's very skinny, you can see through his chest, so like the droid aspect looks good. The problem with this sculpt though is he unfortunately, like every ASP7 in existence is probably flat. Like he's been flattened over, which is really frustrating, which means he's not a very sturdy sculpt. But he looks so good though, so I'm gonna have to kind of go in B tier. It does really bother me how easily damaged these guys are, but I'll put him up top. I'll put him like right here, like high B tier, because I do like how it looks. The Abyssin Black Sun Thug. It's, I don't know. It looks okay. It's not too bad. Do I want to say C tier? I might just say C tier on this one. I'm not crazy about it. It's not like the worst thing ever, but it's kind of whatever. Doesn't really excite me too much. It's not bad. Abyssin backside, like, what do I think? It is well detailed. I mean, this is the thing. The detail gets better and better as time goes on in these sets. I just have to be more careful. Dash Rendar, I don't like this. Unfortunately, I like the new Dash Rendar a million times more. This Dash Rendar, I know on one hand it looks alright because he kind of has that, like, I don't know, James Bond gun up like that. Sometimes I like that look. But for some reason, this Dash Rendar, it's never been my favorite sculpt for personally. I wish he was doing just a little bit more. I much prefer, I think it's almost ruined because the new Dash Rendar sculpt for me is so cool. Whereas the old one is just way boring compared to that. So kind of biases me a little bit, but I'm not a big fan of it. I don't hate it, but I'm going to just put it in C tier. Guri, pretty good sculpt. I like how she has like one dagger up and then one down like this. Pretty cool. The paint job, I don't know. I think the detail is pretty solid. It's not. I think it's a solid sculpt. I'm gonna go put it in a B tier, like right there. Very solid. Dr. E. Venzon. Good detail again. I mean, they capture how mutilated his face looks pretty well. Let's see here. Should I put him in B tier probably? I'll probably just put him in B tier again. I'll put him above Guri. Yeah. I think he looks good. Maybe I'll put him in A. Do I feel like A tier? Nah. Gonk Droid. Looks good. I don't know. Pretty boring. Like, I don't know what else you can do. I'll just put it on a B tier. It looks great for a Gonk, but the Gonk doesn't do much. But I don't think it looks ugly or anything. I like the cheesy look of the Gonk Droid, you know, walking trash can. Kamino and aesthetic. I don't care for this sculpt at all. I hate the mini. Don't like the sculpt. He's just kind of standing, arms to the side, boring. Don't care for it. I'm going to put this guy in S tier. The Ackley looks incredible in this game. A lot of the arena creatures do. I think this guy's a fantastic looking sculpt. Huge creature. Looks like just, a giant crab ready to eat you. So fantastic. Panda Baba. I like this one more than Dr. Venzon. I know he's kind of doing the whole like arm huggy thing, but like I still think they captured his look really, really, really well. So I might bump him up just a bit. Yeah, like right there. Lobot, kind of boring sculpt, honestly, but looks good for Lobot. But we'll see. I'll put him in low C tier. It's just very, very static. This guy is S tier, clearly Rhodian Black Sun Vigo. When I was a kid and there weren't too many miniatures yet, there's only like 5 sets out, I thought this guy was the coolest looking one in the entire game. Of course, my opinion's changed a little bit since then, but he's still S tier for me. I think this guy looks fantastic. So Rhodian Black Sun Vigo is pretty sick. Rancor, I'm also going to put this in S tier. I mean, it's a huge character. It's very easy to detail him, but like it just looks incredible. Like this just monstrosity. This thing weighs a ton. The original Rancor it's great. Great. Definitely get your money's worth when you get it, that's for sure. So S tier for sure. Prince Caesar, I'm going to stick this guy just in B tier. I think he looks good. Looks really well detailed for Prince Caesar. But what do I think about him? I think he looks, I think the way he looks, I mean, he kind of has like he has like a pose of just kind of like disgust. He's just like, whatever. I wish he was doing a little bit more in his pose, but he's not. But I think he's really, really well detailed, and I like that look. I just like the look personally. Okay, these guys down here, the Bomar Monk, looks great. The thing about these monks that I've always thought was funny is the backside of them. They look like, in biology, they look like these, whatever they are, like the proteins that carry viruses or whatever. They have that like funny, like just weird polygonal shape on the back. I just thought it was really silly, but let's see here. I think they look pretty good. I'm gonna put A tier. I think, I mean, as a sculpt, it's just really cool. He just have this little like spider looking guy, have a little jar with the brain in it. I think it's pretty sweet, so I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put an A tier. Definitely like it a lot. X1 Viper Droid. I am crazy biased. I absolutely love the X1 Viper Droid sculpt. I think it looks fantastic. Looks like a giant robotic beetle. Really great. One of my favorite, actually probably is, don't want to spoil it, but definitely one of my top miniatures of all time for personal reasons, but absolutely love the sculpt on this one. As you can tell, there's a lot of sculpts I really, really like in Universe, as you can tell, as opposed to the other ones. The other ones are great, but I think this one might be a little more top heavy for me. This guy's pretty good. I'm going to put him in A tier. It is just kind of a giant hunk of plastic, but looks pretty good. The Bantha looks pretty sweet overall. I like how the guy's using the tusk as, or the horn, I should say, as a kind of like a stand for the sniper. I think these look good. Not S tier for me though, but good. ATST looks great. There's better looking ATSTs. I might actually put this one down on B tier, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I like all the other ATSTs look better than this one, but it's good. It's a really good looking ATST. It's yeah, it's nice. Vornsker, I like these guys. They look good as well. I might put these guys A tier. I really like, there's these little like creatures. I like the tail, the way they did the tail looks nice. Looks like he's just about to like pounce at you. Really nice. Reek, I'm gonna put the Reek in A tier. It looks really good. Like the expression's nice. I just feel like, for me, the either the pose or the detail and all that stuff isn't quite as insane as these ones up in S tier. So I'm gonna put an A tier. Hero of Tanab, Lando. Let's see, what do I think about this guy? Not bad. Like I've said in the past, I'm not a huge fan of people with their guns just stuck straight in their face with two hands, but the cape looks really good on him. He might be one of my more favorite looking Landos, to be honest with you, but I think he's probably B tier. I'm gonna put him high B tier. Looks solid. Maybe even S. Maybe I'll put him in A tier if I kind of shake it out later. Nexu, this guy looks great. I'm gonna stick him here. For me, the Nexu isn't an S tier one. The thing that's always bothered me about the NX2 is it feels like he's coming off of his base too much. I wish the Mini, if there was a way, I wish he was centered on his base more, because when he's coming off, it makes it really awkward to sometimes maneuver the Minis in front of him. So really good looking though. These arena creatures are top notch. They did a great job with them. Darth Vader, Jedi Hunter, also A tier. I'm gonna put him at very top of A tier. Maybe I'll bump into S tier if it makes sense. But I think the cape is, like, you know, looks magnificent, looks awesome. I love the way that he's extending his lightsaber. The detail's awesome. I might put him in S tier, but we'll see. It's just S tier might get really crowded. So we'll hold on just 1 second. Shistavan and Pilot, not bad. Looks okay. Just kind of guns to the side. It looks a little. I've always thought he looked a little awkward, but that's part of his species, which they do a good job capturing. I'm just not so sure how I feel about it. I'm just gonna skip this and throw the Stormtrooper down here in C tier. It's not my favorite looking Stormtrooper personally, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way. What do I think about this sculpt? I think it's average. It's fine. I don't like it as much as these ones. I'll put it low B tier. Excuse me. Dark Side Marauder looks pretty nice. Looks like he's kind of like with one arm. His lightsaber color. The thing that's funny about his lightsaber, I believe, is that the entire thing is orange. At least the hilt looks like a lightsaber because it's similar color. I always thought that was kind of a silly kind of thing about this guy. The detail looks pretty cool. Looks like someone you'd run into, you know, in one of the Jedi Knight games. I like the blacks. I might put him in A tier. I think he looks really, really good. This guy's S tier. I think this looks fantastic. The man, my mind's going blank. There's too many characters. Night Sister Sith Witch. There we go. Looks incredible. It is funny that has the lightsaber, because this is definitely pre-Clone Wars. But it's still pretty cool. Looks fantastic with like all the, just kind of the stuff coming off of it. Very menacing, and very good character in the game too. Let's see here. Nogri. I'm gonna put this in B tier. It's a really cool pose. Actually, I might put it A tier. I think this looks pretty good. Yeah, I like this one, the way he's just kind of lunging forward with his like knife up, about to slice somebody. It looks pretty good. Pretty nice pose overall. I might even put it up pretty high. That looks pretty sweet. Baron Fell, good detail, but just kind of a boring mini otherwise. So kind of thing here, like the detail's good on these two, but It's just not a pose that really excites me that much, or sculpt. Let's see here. Bith Rebel. I mean, I don't know. The Bith Rebel in the game is pointless. And the sculpt, admittedly, isn't bad. It's actually pretty good, but I've always thought the Bith looked dumb, personally. Like, they're an alien in Star Wars, but I don't know, they're kind of big butt heads. I'm like, whatever. I'll put it at the bottom of B tier to be generous, because there is enough going for it that I'm okay with. Yeah, these guys going in A tier. Not quite S tier, but I think the Dark Trooper Phase 3 looks sick. It's just like huge, like beefy, like super tanky looking. The gigantic shoulder plates are hilarious. And then he has like to me, this guy looks like, for some reason, he looks like Zurg to me from Toy Story. I look at this and I'm just like, oh, that totally reminds me of Zurg for some reason. I don't know if you've ever thought the same way, but it's something that's come across my mind. This right here is one of my favorite Chewbacca's. I think he looks fantastic. Just kind of like, looks like he's like in the heat of action, kind of. I'm going to put him in A tier, though. I don't know if he's exactly S tier character for me, but I'll put him pretty high up there. Yeah. Thrawn. Looks good. With this Thrawn, I always wish they kind of, for some reason, I feel like the face and the head doesn't work quite as well for some reason. I think that maybe it could have done a little better, but at the same time, it's small detail. It's hard to do that. Overall, it looks pretty solid for Thrawn, but I like the new Thrawn's look better because he kind of has the kind of like the short, what is it, crew cut or something like that. Whereas on this one, it's just kind of black paint on top. It looks good, like the blue skin, but it is kind of static. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I don't know if I love this sculpt for Thrawn too much, but I don't hate it either. Sorry, Wedge. I'm not a big fan of your sculpt very much here. I don't hate it, but you're going down here. It's just, like I've said before, I'm not a big fan of the gun straight in front of you poses for the most part, unless you bring something else to the table. Don't really care about this one. Leia, oh boy. What do I think about this sculpt? Oh boy, who am I going to offend? This is probably one of my it could be worse. Sometimes I look at this sculpt and it feels like it feels like she's squatting too much and just kind of has the gun in front of her. It looks okay. I don't know if I dislike it too bad. I'm going to put a high C tier. This has never been a sculpt I like. I think in the movie, this is probably one of Leia's better looks in the movies. But in the minis, for some reason, it just doesn't really work for me in minis. So, I don't know. That's just me. Tresselian Commando. I think these guys look pretty cool. I like the way that they got the cape to kind of flow behind him. Not A tier, though, but definitely a B tier look to me. I enjoy the way these things look quite a bit. That looks fine. Admiral Akbar. I think they captured him. They made him look really good. Like, he looks good. It's kind of a boring... I don't like his gun very much. He doesn't even have a gun in the movies. But it is kind of a boring, like, pose. The detail looks pretty nice, though, especially on the face. I think they got his head really well. So I think I might just put him high B tier. Yeah, I'm going to put him right there, right behind them. Okay. Han Solo, Rebel Hero. This guy is pretty sick. The way the cape is flowing. Kind of shooting and running to the side. I'm going to put this one up in S tier. I think this is probably my favorite Han Solo look. I think it's great. I think they got the Rebel Moon version of Han Solo great. For some reason, I just have never really jived with this look for Leia. So sometimes that style works good. Sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. Stormtrooper Commander. I like the way he's kneeling and aiming. Looks pretty good overall. I'm going to just say B tier though. It's not... Well, is it A tier though? Shoot, I don't know. This is tough. This is so tough sometimes. Tauntaun looks pretty great. I like the way the guy has like the binoculars out. The detail on the Tauntaun looks very, very nice as well. Is it enough to bump it up? I think I might put a top of B tier. I think it looks really good. I'm just A and S are starting to get really crowded. I don't want to have too many up there. Nia Nub, I don't really care for this too much. I'm just going to put him down here. Not my favorite sculpt. Nom Anor, this I think is one of the coolest looking sculpts ever. Like the way the cape is blowing, just like super dark, like decked out, like holding his cape with one arm. To me, this is one of the most ominous looking minis in the game personally. I think his sculpt is so sick. I remember when my cousin first got him back in the day, we all thought he was the coolest character ever. Even though we didn't know anything at the time about the Yuzhan Vong, it still looked it looked like the coolest thing ever. So I'm gonna put him up there. Let's see, how many guys do we got left? We got some New Republic and yeah, so some of these later characters. Let's see here. We got this guy. What do I think about the commander? I think he looks good. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Yeah. The New Republic commander. I don't see him very often, but I do kind of like his action pose, so I'm gonna put him kind of high B tier. Young Jedi Knight. I think the Young Jedi Knight pose is actually pretty sick. It's a shame that the mini sucks, but the pose actually looks really good. The way he's running forward, crazy cape going on there. I might actually put this into A tier. I think this is a pretty sweet pose. I've always really enjoyed this pose. It's just the mini sucks, so that's unfortunate. This one, I think his face is a little messed up. It's not too bad. It's just some of the early characters, the detail in the face is tricky. And it's just kind of extended lightsaber, nothing too crazy. The other ones I like a lot more. I don't hate this one too much, though. I'm going to put him at the very bottom of B tier. Not my favorite look for Cal Katarn, but it's the first one at least. This guy, I'm going to put this one top of A tier. Maybe I'll bump him to S tier. I love this pose on Luke Skywalker. The way everything's just kind of going to the side. Kind of reminds me of that Obi-Wan Kenobi fight stance with his, like, you know, hands out and the lightsaber behind him. Pretty good. New Republic Trooper, I don't like this look that much. It's just, to me, it feels like the gun is just way too into his face. Like, it's like it feels like he's looking through a scope, but it looks awkward the way he's doing it, so it doesn't work for me that much. These guys, I'm not a fan. I don't really like the look of the Yuuzhan Vong is it the Saboteur? Something like that. I'm trying to get these guys all from memory, and I can't pronounce some of the names anyways, so never liked the look of this sculpt personally. Part of the reason why is I get a little sick of the arm overhead holding staff look. You see it way too many times. Like, I think this is like the fifth time we've already seen this sculpt basically, but just reskinned on somebody else. Not my favorite. I'll put this guy low B tier though. I think the Yuuzhan Vong Warrior looks good, but I think future Yuuzhan Vong characters look much better. I think the original Yuuzhan Vong characters, I don't like their look that much, unless you're, of course, Nom and Or, then you look amazing. Just these guys don't really excite me. But last but not least, we have War Master Savong Law. I've always thought he was a pretty cool sculpt overall. Not my favorite. I'm gonna probably put him in high B tier. Yeah, it's a good sculpt. It's just what's holding it back for me? It's a bit of a basic one. He's just kind of looking down, kind of has his hands out, just kind of sitting there looking at you. It's all right. Like, he has nice detail for sure, nice staff, but let's see how I want to shake this thing up now. Okay, so I'm all done. These are all S tier for me. I'm gonna bump these two to S tier personally. I think these guys look fantastic. This is probably one of my favorite Vader looks. And I think this Luke Skywalker looks fantastic as well. I love it. Even though this mini is pretty dated, isn't good anymore, but was decent for the time, I think it's one of my favorite looking Luke Skywalkers. A tier is all good here. I'm going to bump these guys up to A tier, though, I think. Yeah, I like both of these things quite a bit. I'm a sucker for machines. I'm going to leave this guy in B tier. Let's see. How do I look? I might just bump this thing down. I'm not a big fan of the look on the Yuuzhan Vong things. I'm really not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of these guys. I'm going to put them in D tier. I'm just not. I think these looks alright. I'm going to stick them. Nah. Yeah, let's leave them there. Okay, I'm going to be done. This is where I am for Universe. I hope you guys like this tier list. Like I've said before, please like. If you haven't subscribed, do that. And especially comment. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on the Universe ones. As you can tell, I'm a lot more top-heavy. I really, really like the way the Universe characters look for the most part. I think as time goes on, it might kind of look that way. Some sets I like the things more, sometimes I don't. It just really depends on what you get. So, anyways, my next set after this I'll be doing is Champions of the Force, so definitely keep an eye out for that one. Sometime in the future, mixing up a lot of different types of videos here, but that's it for Universe, one of my favorite sets. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, until next time, have a good one.